do you have a food addiction? Because I found out I had a food addiction. And if you have a food addiction, then what the crap are you supposed to do with it? Where do you even begin? If food has been a thing that you've been addicted to your whole life, where do you even start to get yourself help? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. My experience and all the resources that I found. So first, when I very first heard about food addiction, it was from a good friend posted on Facebook that she had been abstinent from food, totally free from food in her mind for 3 years. That means she didn't eat sugar or flour for 3 years. And I thought she was talking about unicorns. Like, that was a thing that was so not possible. It didn't even exist in my world. And she talked about a program called Overeaters Anonymous. You can Google it, Overeaters Anonymous. It's a whole program and a group of support. It's AA, it's Alcoholics Anonymous for food. They read out of the big book. The big book looks like this. You can get it on Amazon. It actually says Alcoholics Anonymous. It is the AA book. So this is the book that you read out of. And you just replace alcohol with food. That's the whole basis of Overeaters Anonymous. So that's where I started. I started by going to a physical meeting. When you go to Overeaters Anonymous, you can find local meetings and you can go to them. It's exactly like an AA meeting. It's anonymous, you show up, there's sharing, there's tokens. That's what it is. It is super awkward your first time. You feel like I felt like I was in a movie watching an AA meeting. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I just don't want to eat the cupcakes, right? Like, do I really need to go to a meeting? And yes, you do. Yes, you do. You are an addict. So, at least I am. Okay, so I went through that program, or I didn't go through the program. I thought I was going through a program. I was going to meetings, I was listening to calls, I was reading pamphlets and Googling stuff about it. I was not eating sugar, and I kind of thought that I was doing it. Well, then, like, totally relapsed, totally went back to all of the food during the holidays. And by end of January, I was like, I cannot do this again. Once I had found the freedom of food and knew it existed, I wanted that back. So I called up the friend that I had originally learned about the program from, and she got me thinking more about jumping into the program much more. And I learned that I could get a sponsor, just like AA. Free support. What? Where someone cared and would talk to you and related to you and had been through the steps before. That was amazing. So I got a sponsor and we worked a couple times a week going through the steps, and it was amazing. It really was amazing. I started going to some of the local meetings here in my town. My church has a free addiction recovery program, so you can find this online actually totally for free. I just bought the book. It was like $1. So this is the program. Again, you can find LDS Family Services Addiction Recovery Program. It's totally available online. This entire workbook is completely available for free online. This was incredible. I loved this. I still love this. So it's simple. It's a workbook. You're writing things, it's asking you questions. You're going through the steps. So good. Okay, so two resources. Overeaters Anonymous. You can get almost all of that free online. And this is also free online. Okay. Then I was getting hung up on the food plan. So my sponsor gave me a food plan, and I was like, why do I have to eat this way? You have no explanation, just do it because. And that wasn't sitting well with me. I think I have a little bit more of my dad in me than I think, because he's a lot more analytical than I think I am. But I wanted to know why. Who's coming up with this? Like, just somebody just decided, like, eat this exact thing for breakfast and that's going to heal you. Like, why is that working? And through Googling or through like Instagramming stuff, I'm trying to figure out different ways to meal prep, I came across a book and a program called Brightline Eating. So this is the book, Brightline Eating. It's a game changer. This mixed with this will change your life. This will change your life if you're a food addict. This will change your life. This breaks down why you're a food addict. It breaks down like the environment and what you grew up in. It breaks down the food, more of the science behind it. I loved this, which is weird because I'm, again, not a very analytical person. But the other thing about this is if you need a social media group, people that are posting, people that have fun ideas, there's energy about it, this comes with so much energy. This I found, although very, very incredibly life-changing, this is like church, and this is like hanging out with your friends. Good friends that brighten your day and that lift you up. So you need both, right? But Brightline Eating, you can just follow the hashtag Brightline Eating on Instagram and you will get overwhelmed with everything that's available. Brightline Eating has an entire program in and of itself. You can pay coaches to go through Brightline Eating coaching. It's basic, from my experience, what I can tell is it's kind of like the food part of the 12-step program. But what it is missing for me is the 12 steps. The 12 steps is not in here. This is all the food. The food. Everything else is like emotional, trying to let your baggage go, all those things. So if you need to start here, start here. Figure out if you are a food addict. They have a quiz you can take, brightlineeating.com. There's a quiz you can take to find out if you're a food addict. Some extra helpers. The 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book. I just got this on Amazon. This speaks specifically to overeaters. So you don't have to be filling in the food thing for alcohol. This speaks specifically to food. I loved this. It breaks down the 12 steps much more thoroughly. And this is a great resource. Then another thing that I got was this 12-step workbook for Overeaters Anonymous. And I actually haven't used this at all. So I can't really say anything about this. I don't use it. It's just not part of like my program, but it seems like it could be an incredible resource for someone. So I just found this on Amazon. But then I am part of an online meeting that is phenomenal, and a website called A Vision for You. Change your life. You can listen to podcasts on A Vision for You, and my favorite, if you just Google A Vision for You special editions and start listening to some of those recorded calls, then if you relate with those people, then you'll know that this is a program that's built for you, and it really can bring you peace and joy and serenity, so much clarity and serenity, and you just won't be standing in the kitchen anymore screaming at yourself to stop eating and rummaging through like next, trying to feed that nothingness that will never be fed. So much time wasted on my life doing that. And it's not like it was every day. I've done Whole30, maybe not for 30 days, but like I've done it. I've done cleanses for 10 days strictly. You know, there were so many moments in my life where I look back and I think, no, am I a food addict? Because I trained for a bodybuilding competition for 2 months and I stayed strict on that. But you know what? Even when I was eating healthy, it still consumed me. That's the thing. This is not necessarily that you're eating unhealthy all the time. I like eating healthy, but it was consuming my brain. So consider, Like, and it doesn't even have to be the food that's an addiction thing. If it's not food, maybe it's something else that just is taking up too much space in your brain and you want to let it go. Check out the 12-step program. Check out this book. Listen to some calls. It's just something that more people need in their life. There's just not enough people reaching out and overcoming addiction that I think could really use it. So with that, thank you for being here. I hope you have a great day and go out there and create joy.